Hey y'all, welcome back to another episode of Whatever with Heather. Today we are talking about the one shift that turned someday into today. A week or so ago, I posted to Instagram a thought that had come to my head in a time where I was struggling to get myself motivated to do the next thing or do the thing that I know I needed to do. I was kind of being wishy-washy. I was not going for it like I knew I could. And I was ending up at the end of the day feeling like I didn't take steps forward into doing the things I know I needed to do. And I had some days where I felt really on top of it and taking care of business. And I had other days where I would lay in bed at the end of the night and know that I kind of didn't go for it. I kind of just didn't even try. I kind of let my phone take the wheel of what I was doing for my day. Or I let stress and spiraling negative thoughts take control of my day. I was in this roller coaster of really good days and really challenging days, or days that felt like I was on top of the world and days that felt like the world was on top of me. And this thought came to my mind, and then I shared it to Instagram. And this is what I shared. Someday, you will hold yourself accountable to being the type of person that makes you proud. Today could be day one. So I could imagine what I would look like and what actions I would take that would make me proud. But there were times that instead of imagining what actions I could take or would like to take, I instead became overwhelmed by everything I wasn't doing and in all the ways I was failing or in all the ways I wasn't showing up how I wanted to. And at the end of the day, whether or not we are showing up in a way that makes us proud is determined by us. We are doing the things that lead us to the life we want, the day-to-day vibe of our life that we want. That is on us to take ownership and start doing the actions that make us proud. So this little thought that came to my brain as like this self-motivational pep talk that I then posted online is what we're talking about today. How do we turn someday into today? The first thing is action over thought. You don't become a writer by thinking about writing a book or planning to write the book. You become a writer by doing the actions that a writer does. As you begin to write, you become a writer. Any dream or goal, or even just the vibe of your life that you want, is built by small, consistent action. Something that has helped me recently is that I am running multiple businesses right now. We have a brick and mortar business that has two different parts to it. And then I have my online speaking and writing that I love to do as well. And then on top of that, I'm being a mom. There are a lot of moving parts in my life and probably in your life, and it can feel so overwhelming. But for me, when it comes to my businesses and the things I'm trying to build, when I tell myself that I'm a CEO and I step into that role or that character, and then I do the actions of a CEO that make me feel proud or make me feel like I embody that character, then my days feel so good. Now, I'm not just imagining myself as that. I am that. But sometimes it's so hard when you are in it to see yourself from outside of it. And so to take whatever role you have, and you probably have multiple roles, and then to step outside of them and imagine what you want yourself to look like and act like in those roles, what you want it to feel like when you're in those roles, is such a powerful thing to do. As an employee or as a business owner, as a mother, as a partner, as a spouse, as a friend, imagine yourself in those roles and how you would like to show up. And then it becomes a lot easier to show up in those ways. But when we're in it, it can feel really daunting because we have so many things on our plate that it is hard to step outside and imagine ourselves in those roles and then act in a way that makes us proud. So when I tell myself I'm a CEO and step into that role and that character, it becomes easier to align my actions. If I want to step into the role of a present mother and I imagine myself in that role and I step into that role or that character, it becomes easier to align myself with the actions of a present mother. If I want to feel better about my life and confident, then I imagine myself as a confident person, think about how I would act, the things I would do, and then I step into that, and then it becomes easier for my actions to align of a confident person. Stepping into the person you want to be helps you act in ways you're proud of. A lot of our dissatisfaction with where we're at in life comes from a misalignment of our current actions and the actions we'd like to be taking. And we don't ever see how to cross that bridge. And actually, a lot of times there's not even a bridge. It's just doing a different action than what we're currently doing and holding ourselves accountable because nobody else will. So the first thing we need to realize is action over thought. What actions do we need to take? But the thing that we need to watch out for is the trap of perfectionism. Perfectionism stops progress, and it probably stops it daily for most of us. This is a really easy example to give because we've all been through it. Maybe you're trying to scroll your phone less, you start scrolling your phone, and then you just give up the rest of the day. Maybe you're trying to eat more nutritious foods, you eat a brownie, which is totally fine, but then you're like, well, I failed, and you just let it railroad the rest of your day. Our perfectionism and our pursuit of perfection keeps us stuck in lives we don't like, in actions we don't like, in doing things we don't like, and things we're not proud of. Life is unpredictable. Perfection is unattainable. The perfect circumstances, environment, mindset, the perfect morning routine, all of these things do not exist. They are not real. Yet we live like they are. We live like it's attainable. We live like we can achieve a life of perfection, or that if we just set things up correctly or in the right way, we would be so close to perfection. We could be proud of ourselves, but that's just not real. We have to start today, even when it's not perfect, especially when it's not perfect, because it won't be perfect. Those that can get started when things don't seem perfect, and even probably more so, those that can get started in moving towards their goals and dreams when things are less than perfect, far from perfect, those are people that are living a life that makes them proud, even when it's hard. And because we are so focused on perfection, on trying to be perfect, we feel like we have to do big things to make big changes in our life. But that's not true. To make this really actionable, think of or ask yourself, what actions would make me proud today? If I were to do blank today, I would be so proud that I did that. We don't need to have a whole day that makes us proud. We just need some actions that make us proud. If you are trying to be a more present mother, maybe sitting down and reading a book to your kids is an action that makes you proud. Maybe you want more time to yourself. Maybe sitting down for 15 minutes and giving yourself time to read without guilt will make you proud. Maybe there is one part of your home that is cluttered and is stressing you out. And you know that if you just cleaned it up, it would feel better and you would feel proud after that. So you give yourself 15 minutes to work on that space so that you can feel peace and feel proud of what you've accomplished. Maybe it's spending 5 minutes with your feet in the grass and breathing and paying attention to your body and the earth and just feeling here on this planet, out of your head and into your body, and just be here. Maybe that will make you proud. We know that small things can make us proud. A lot of us like to make to-do lists, and then if we do something that wasn't on the to-do list, we will write it on the to-do list, then check it off. Why? Because checking it off the list makes us proud. It's a gold star for ourselves. And there is nothing wrong with needing or wanting to feel proud and acknowledge the things you've done throughout the day. Imagine you're a child going throughout the day, doing tons of things and no one acknowledging them day after day. Imagine the person you love, same thing. No one acknowledges the things they do. They might feel used. They might feel unappreciated. They might feel unworthy. And we do that to ourselves as well. So you just need something small that makes you proud to begin to build a life that is aligned with what you care about. The core message of today, the one shift that turns someday into today, is you taking accountability to make you do the things that matter to you. You taking accountability to add in things to your life that make you proud. You taking accountability to thinking of what actions are aligned with the type of person that you want to be. The one shift that turns someday into today is deciding to act as the person you want to be right now. Not waiting for someday, not waiting for perfect, not thinking of all the ways you could do it and never taking action. It's taking small steps and then being proud of those small steps and allowing yourself to celebrate the small things you do that are aligned with the person you want to be. Stop outsourcing your life. Stop scrolling for the perfect morning routine or workout routine or trending lunch to pack. Get real with yourself about what makes a tangible difference in your life. The physical actions you can take to prove to yourself that you are who you want to be. Or if you don't feel like you're who you want to be, that you are stepping into who you want to be. Nothing will fire you up more. If you're in a mental health spiral or slump, nothing will help pull you out more than just to start taking actions that are aligned with what you want to feel. If y'all can tell, I'm fired up about this because it's been such a game changer in my life. I know that when I do the things that are aligned with someone I'm proud of, me, not someone else I'm proud of, but when I take the actions that are aligned with me being someone I'm proud of, my mental health is better. My relationships with my family is better. My relationship with myself is better. My relationship with this world and the chaos of it is more manageable and it is better. Life is not perfect. So be okay with it not being perfect. You are a real human that feels like this because that is how life is. Sometimes are great and sometimes are not. And sometimes are meh. As we step into taking accountability for the actions we take, and we start taking more actions that make us proud, and more actions that are aligned with the type of person we want to be, then someday becomes today. Now, I don't normally do this on my podcast, but I do want to share with you something that I offer that has helped lots of women, and I've gotten great feedback on it. I have an online program and it's $33. I don't want price to be a barrier. It basically helps me pay for my website where this is hosted. If you go to the-empowered-life, so the empowered life with hyphens between each word.com, and under programs, click on the 3 habits of empowered living, you can sign up for my program there where I go over the 3 habits of living an empowered life. These are the things I learned from coming out of an abusive marriage, being a single mom of 2. I didn't understand how I got there, and I didn't understand how to get out of the beliefs I had collected and the way I was living my life and the way my life felt. In the 3 habits of empowered living, I talk about the things that help me move forward and gain control of my life and gain a lot more understanding and resilience with my mental health. I will put a link in the show notes on the podcast or in the YouTube description on YouTube if you want that. I just wanted to offer that as a resource that I created to share with y'all. But of course, I'll still be here on the podcast sharing thoughts with you. Thank y'all for being here. I appreciate your comments on YouTube. if you are listening on your favorite podcasting platform, the best way you can support this podcast is by sharing it or leaving a review. That helps more than you will ever know. Thank y'all for being here, and I will see you again next week. Bye, y'all.